how long does Sodom go in the Catholic Church? How long has it been here? How long has it been here? So many stories of Catholic priests molesting children, molesting boys, sexually harassing young men. So many stories out there. And it's not just in America, because some people might think, oh, it's an American problem. I kind of thought that for a moment, until I went to Italy and I saw similar weirdities over there. It's not just an American Catholic problem. It is a Catholic problem. And the word Catholic means universal. And they want to make Sodom Catholic. And in many ways, they have already made Sodom Catholic. And by that, I mean they have made Sodom universal. Because Sodom is universal in the Roman Catholic Church. Yes, I have tea right now, but don't worry, I'm going to bring alcohol. You have the evils of Sodom in the Catholic Church in America. You see it. You see stories of molestation and sexual predator behavior in Spain, in Argentina, in Mexico, in Poland, in Australia, in the UK. It's all over the Catholic world. All over the Catholic world, you have this problem, which tells me it's not just a coincidence. This is not a coincidence, my friends. Just because this whole thing is happening in Gaza and Israel doesn't mean that I forgot about this issue. No, we're gonna get this issue. We're gonna get down to this issue. I'm gonna keep harping on this issue because it bothers the hell out of me that a church that was founded by Jesus Christ is now being used for Sodom, and they have prostituted Jesus's house for Sodom. It's sickening. It is sickening. How long does this go? It's not a coincidence. It's systematic. It's systemic and it's systematic. It is ubiquitous in the Catholic world. And people say, well, that was a problem that just was really in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, but things have gotten so much better now. And then you actually look into the history and you find out that this stuff has been in the Catholic world for centuries. This stuff has been here for centuries, so why should people expect me to believe that all of a sudden things have gotten better? And I can tell you right now, they haven't gotten better. Because I was in the Catholic Church. I joined it in 2013. My first year in the Catholic Church, I was prayed upon by a priest. Second year, 2014, prayed upon by a priest. 2000, what was it? 2000 and, I want to say in 2014 or also 2013, I was prayed upon by another priest. I have seen some weird shit in the Catholic Church. It is systematic. And no one does a damn thing about it. Nobody does a damn thing about it. So let's see how long this goes. Let's see how long this goes, guys. Let's go back to this great book. The Occult Renaissance Church of Rome by Matthew Hoffman. Now say what you want about Matthew Hoffman. He has done a lot of research on this, and the thing about this book is that it is a compilation of a lot of research. And by that, I mean much of this book consists of quotations from Catholic writers, from scholars, from professors, from historians, from old Catholic texts. And so when you are learning from this book, you're not, for the most part, you're not absorbing information from Matthew Hoffman. You're absorbing the information that is quoted by Matthew Hoffman. And he quotes very extensively. In many cases, he will quote, you'll have entire pages that are just quotes from historians and the like. So he has a chapter on Sodom. And it's chapter 13, Ecclesiastical Sodom, and its roots. Let me see if I get the chapter here. Yeah, right there. Right, I can't even get it. This is crazy. Hold on. We're getting a little too autistic here. Chapter 13, Ecclesiastical Sodom and its Roots. All right, let's get down to it. So, I did a lot of underlining, and I took some notes. So let's read some stuff here. Check this out. Systematic molestation. Let's lower the music down a little bit here. A little bit too loud. Although I really do love this music. Some Polish new wave rock music. Check this out. So the book talks about Pope Alexander the Second, who lived in the mid-11th century. And it says here, this pope was a sleuth in matters of clerical sexual corruption, outlining in his biography of Saint Romuald of Ravenna, written circa 1042. 1042. That's pretty old. That's basically a millennium ago. How homosexual priests and monks intimidated other clerics from exposing them by claiming the accusers were also guilty of the sin and bringing trumped up charges against them. So they had a mafia. Sodom had a mafia right there. Over 1,000 years after Christ, over 1,000 years AD, 1042 AD, right there, before the Crusades. Oh yes, trad Crusades. Before the Crusades, you had a problem of Sodom, right there, in the church. 1042 AD. That's how long this goes. And they had a mafia. And if you were going to expose them, they would say, if you expose me, then I'm going to accuse you of doing the same things that I do. And I'm going to intimidate you. And I remember when I was exposing Robert L. Kinsel back in 2013, who was a predator priest who was teaching the heresy of Sodom. I remember I got an email from Kinsel. And Kinsel was living with a man, and the man was huge, physically a very, very big man. His name was Mick. And I remember Kinsel said, my friend Mick doesn't like what you're saying, Ted. And he just left it at that. As if he was trying to intimidate me. It was very, very mafioso. It was very creepy. It was very creepy stuff. Let's read some more. So, St. Peter Damian wrote a book. It was really a letter to the Pope about this problem of sodomy in the priesthood. The book was written, I want to say, in 1042. Let me think here. Hold on. Actually, no, sorry, 1049. So the book was written in 1049. And this is what he wrote to the Pope. St. Peter Damian wrote, the cancer of Sodom is in fact spreading through the clergy like a savage beast, raging with shameless abandon through the flock of Christ. So here you have a letter to the Pope written in 1049 AD. And he is saying that sodomy is spreading like a cancer. It's spreading like a cancer. Now, what does St. Paul tell the Roman Church in his letter to the Romans? When he describes how the people turned to Sodom, he said, God gave them up. Which means that as far back as 1049 and 1042, you had a lot of priests who God had given up because they were of a depraved mind. It was right there in the year 1049, everybody. The cancer of Sodom, the cancer of sodomy, this is what St. Peter Damian wrote. The cancer of sodomy is, in fact, spreading through the clergy like a savage beast, raging with a shameless abandon through the flock of Christ. Shameless. What do you see today? Pride rallies. What's pride? Shamelessness. And that pride was there in the medieval period. That's how long ago that's how long this thing goes. St. Peter Damian also wrote in the same letter, unless immediate effort be exerted by the apostolic see, there is little doubt that, even if one wished to curb this unbridled evil, he could not check the momentum of its progress. In other words, if something doesn't happen to keep this stuff in check, then it's going to come to the point where you won't be able to fix it. He said this in 1049. And have they been able to fix it? Have they been able to fix it? They have been able to fix it. It's been centuries. It's still here. It's still here. He talks about bishops who preyed on young men, saying, quote, "Who can expect the flock to prosper when its shepherd has sunk so deep into the bowels of the devil? What man will continue to be under his authority?" What man will be... Look at the words of St. Peter Damian. What man will continue to be under his authority? In other words, you have these bishops who are predators. And who would be willing to be under the authority of these bishops? And you have so many bishops who are in Sodom and who have done wicked things like cover up for pedophiles. And how can we expect, and why in the hell should we expect people to be under their authority? Now let's talk about these bishops, because the book gets into this as well. This is very, very, very fascinating. Let's see here. So in the 10th century, there was a synod in England called the Synod of Winchester, and it was around the years 970 to 973. The background music is beautiful, I know. And this is what the synod had to say. It says, "In the monastery, moreover, let neither monks nor abbot embrace or kiss, as it were, youths or boys." Now, why would there need to be a synod in the late 10th century to tell monks to not kiss boys? Why would there have to be a synod about that? In 970 to 973, you have the synod around, circa 970 to 973. You have this synod saying, let neither monks nor abbot embrace or kiss youths or boys. This is before the Crusades. And we talk about the Crusades. We're like, the Crusades were so base. They were so amazing. They were so awesome. Look at the Crusades. Before the Crusades, the Rainbow Skittles Mafia was already there, my friends. I'm sorry. You're going to have to temper your idealism. You're going to have to tell your idealism to go to sleep. Because once you get into the reality of the history here, once you look at other things besides the stories that appeal to your idealism about some golden age, which never existed, look at these details. Look at these details, and you will see. The Synod of Winchester. In the monastery, moreover, let neither monks nor abbot embrace or kiss, as it were, youths or boys. Let their affection for them be spiritual. Let them keep from words of flattery, and let them love the children reverently and with the greatest circumspection. Not even on the excuse of some spiritual matter shall any monk presume to take with him a young boy alone. Now, why would they have to say that? Why would they have to say a monk must not be with a boy alone if there was no problem? Not even on the excuse of some spiritual matter shall any monk presume to take with him a young boy alone for any private purpose, but, as the rule commands, let the boys always remain under the care of their master. And have you guys ever seen the bizarre artwork in medieval Irish churches? Have you guys ever seen this shit? Let me show you guys. This is sick. Look at this. I didn't know these existed until I saw that movie Men. Have you guys ever seen that film Men? I know it's a feminist horror film, but aesthetically it was a very well done movie. And the directing style, I think, was pretty decent. The music was amazing. I love the music. I'm gonna play the music. Oh man. Men. How many people are watching this damn thing? 35 people, not bad. Not bad. It's a very well done movie. Men soundtrack. Oh, I can get the song from the tunnel. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Oh, it's like creepy church music. Yep, here we go. Ha ha ha. Just imagine this being sung in a church. So creepy. So that's... Is it against TOS if I play this? Lakeshore Records. I don't want to risk this stream being cut off. I'm just gonna stop. Go back to the medieval stuff. Irish phallic idols in church. Sheila Nagig. And nobody really knows why these idols are in churches. But here they are. I'm going to show you guys the photos. Here we go. They're not phallic idols. Sorry, they're like fertility idols. But check this out. This is some crazy shit. Sheila Nagigs. This is so bizarre, guys. Why would they put these in churches? Oh, why can't I show the damn thing? Hold on. Here we go. It's a big Kaaba sex idols, fertility idols. I mean, it's pretty bizarre stuff, but they have these in churches in Ireland. They found a whole bunch of them. Why are they there? Why are these here? Why do they have these idols? These pagan idols in churches in Ireland? Pretty bizarre to have these in churches. Pretty bizarre. Like if you're building a church in the Middle Ages, I mean, why would you make sure to have those there? Sheila Nagigs. Remember back in the day, Christians would destroy idols? But then for some reason with Catholicism, it was like, well, no, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. You know, let's put a little fertility worship there. It's no big deal. Some old pagan shit. It's okay. Nobody worships them, so how are they idols? I guess you could put anything in a church, right? By that very standard. Let's put Baphomet in the church. Let's put the Kaaba in the Vatican. Let's put giant Samoan phallic idols in church. Who cares? As long as we don't worship them, it's fine. That makes sense, right? This is Catholic logic. This is Catholic equivocation. It's what they call Catholic equivocation. Put the idol there, but say it's okay as long as they're not worshipped. Abusive priests, okay. So, let's read about these amazing bishops that we're supposed to submit ourselves to. We're supposed to submit ourselves to the bishop, right? Chicago Archbishop Blaise Cupich, who, when Bishop of Spokane, Washington, permitted homosexual dances held by the Gay Students Club in Cataldo Hall on the campus of Jesuit Gonzaga University. Cupich was elevated to the rank of cardinal by Pope Francis in November 2016. Yeah, he's an amazing bishop of St. Peter. Cardinal Godfrey Daniels, who in 2013 referred to the marriage of sodomites as a positive development. Cardinal Daniels was recorded urging a 13-year-old victim of sexual abuse at the hands of his friend and colleague, Bishop Roger Vanghuluve, not to go to the police. Here we go. Shall I go on? I think I will. Cardinal Timothy Michael Dolan, the Archbishop of New York, who led the 2015 St. Patrick's Day Parade as Grand Marshal, after praising as a wise one the parade organizers' decision to allow right to sodomy groups to march in the event. Should I go on? I think I will. Archbishop Bruno Forte of the Diocese of Chieti Vasto, Italy, who drafted the homosexuality section of the midterm report of the 2014 Synod on the Family that spoke of accepting and valuing gay sexual orientation. When questioned about his declaration, Archbishop Forte stated that sexually active homosexuals have, quote, rights that should be protected, unquote, calling unions of sodomites an, quote, issue of respect, and stating, quote, connected to homosexual unions, it has to be noted that there are cases in which mutual aid to the point of sacrifice constitutes a precious support in the life of the partners. So here he is, Archbishop Bruno Forte, spreading the heresy of the religion of Sodom. That's fine. Should I go on? I think I will. Cardinal Angelo Sodano, the Dean of the Vatican's College of Cardinals, attempted to halt investigations into same-sex crimes committed by Father Marcial Maciel Degollado, the wealthy founder of the Legionnaires of Christ. Shall I go on? I think I will. Cardinal Raimundo Damasceno Assis, the Archbishop of Aparecida, Brazil, and President of Brazil's National Conference of Bishops, who praised the, quote, softer and tolerant rhetoric of Francis, especially regarding homosexuality. Pope Francis, the Vicar of Christ on earth, stated concerning homosexuality, "Who am I to judge?" This was the infamous "Who am I to judge" speech on the airplane. Yet, on January 20th, 2017, in an interview with the Spanish newspaper El País, he was asked, Trump is just now being sworn in as President of the United States. What do you make of it? Francis answered, "We will see what he does and will judge accordingly." Should I go on? I think I will. Cardinal Desmond Connell. Oh boy, let's get into this guy. Cardinal Desmond Connell of Ireland. He was a Jesuit. And it says here, Connell was a facilitator of child molestation in his archdiocese. The crimes first began to emerge after the Reverend Brendan Smith, a Northern Irish priest, was convicted of child sex abuse in 1994. Should I go on? The next year, Archbishop Connell denied that the archdiocese had paid compensation to victims of abuse by its priest, But in 1998, it emerged that he had quietly lent archdiocesan money to an abusive priest, the Reverend Ivan Payne, who then paid an abuse survivor, Andrew Madden. 3 years later, Pope St. John Paul II elevated Connell to the rank of cardinal. In 2002, the Irish National Television Network, RTE, broadcast Cardinal Secrets, a report by the investigative journalist Mary Raftery, exposing the Archdiocese's protection of 8 priests who had sexually abused children. An independent commission was established to investigate the Archdiocese's handling of 325 claims of child molestation. Cardinal Connell mounted a high court challenge to block the inquiry from gaining access to 5,500. Let me read that again. Cardinal Connell mounted a high court challenge to block the inquiry from gaining access to 5,500 files on priests and molestation allegations. So this cardinal tried to prevent access to 5,500 files. 5,500 files on priest and molestation allegations. After retiring in 2004, Connell lived in comfort, provided by the church. He was never persecuted. In 2009, the government of Ireland mounted a commission of inquiry led by Judge Yvonne Murphy, which resulted in the 2009 Murphy Report. The Dublin Archdiocese's preoccupations in dealing with cases of child sexual abuse, at least until the mid-1990s, were the maintenance of secrecy. This is what the 2009 Murphy Report says. Maintenance of secrecy. The avoidance of scandal, the protection of the reputation of the church, and the preservation of its assets. Money. Money. That's what this was about. The commission found all other considerations, including the welfare of children and justice for victims, were subordinated to these priorities. It's not just a case of, a bad priest, and then the church sends him off to the police so that so that justice may be imposed upon the predator. No, it's the case of massive amounts of predators and pedophiles being protected by the system itself. Do you see the difference? That's why it's so heartbreaking. It's sickening, guys. After reading all that, I don't know if I have too much faith in humanity to believe that some Catholics think that they should be taken seriously when they write things like what I'm reading here. So Dominic Lodicatas, Catholic, on the comments section says, "Trust me, you don't want people convinced that corruption of the bishops will disprove the religion. It will only hurt people's souls as they leave apostolic churches altogether if they see corruption." This must be trolling. This must be trolling. I have too much. I guess I have too much faith in humanity to believe that this is not trolling. But after seeing all the weird stuff that I've seen, you do realize that the cover-up is what brought a lot of people to leave the church. Like, if there was a pedo priest, and then that pedo priest was sent off to prison, and the church cooperated with law enforcement, didn't try to hide shit for decades, then there wouldn't be so much of an issue. What's so horrifying is the systematic protection and cover-up for these predators. It's just that simple. It's not that complicated. Oh, okay. You're saying, I'm talking about a commenter saying that if somebody bases their faith on whether bishops are corrupt or not, they will leave the religion. Okay, whatever.